We're having this message, and he says, "Good morning, Raymond. Please, my name is Roland." And you say your co-worker. She's not my co-worker.
What are you doing? Okay, what is he saying? What's the message saying?
Oh, just hi. Hello.
What's his name?
No name.
He or she? Okay.
No name.
All right, so there's no WhatsApp.com, apparently. It's Facebook.com/Joy News on TV. But our WhatsApp number is 0560-800-000. Kindly include your name because, you know, we're a big family. We like to address you by your name when you send us a message. We'll do the headlines now.
Yeah, we're ready now. We want to look at the front page of the Daily Graphic, Mama V.
Voters register flawed. NDC, NPP concur but defer on how to correct. That conversation at the Alisa Hotel is continuing, convened by the Electoral Commission of Ghana. Is continuing today. We'll bring you more.
We have new faces emerge at PPP convention on Saturday, and apparently new faces are expected to emerge as leaders of the Progressive People's Party when it holds its national convention in the Western regional capital, Takoradi, this very weekend, and India to support Africa with apparently $10 billion. That's what it is. And we also have
because we know President Mahama is in India. Okay. Over the next 5 years, we're told.
Is President Buhari also in India?
Yes.
Yeah.
President Buhari is in India for a summit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's the India Africa. There's a summit ongoing there,
yes,
and some of the African leaders are there. Please read the
Daily Guide newspaper. NDC NPP split over new voters register. Same conversation that the Daily Graphic captured. It's in the Daily Guide as well. Obinim freed. So the Criminal Division of an Accra High Court Thursday acquitted and discharged Bishop Daniel Obinim, founder of God's Way International Ministry. You'll find pictures of him, excited him, his wife, and some members of the church or family. I'm thinking you can go to myjoyonline.com and look at those pictures if you're interested. But this other headline, NDC members to voter register in Teshi. The story says that the Lejokuku Krowo constituency office of the National Democratic Congress was in a chaotic situation Thursday when some aggrieved party members destroyed its register meant for exhibition. We'll do the weekend finder, Roland.
We'll do the weekend finder. Poison on sale, greed pushing traders to do the unthinkable. And the issue of adulterated food products on the Ghanaian market is not only peculiar to palm oil, as research is already indicating that several other apparently locally produced foods are also heavily compromised.
Akachi North residents share water with cattle. Very, very sad situation. This is not peculiar to Akachi North, but the story says Akachi North in the Volta region has seen an increase in water-related diseases over the past years, resulting in the death of some residents, majority being children. We move on to the General Telegraph newspaper. Hassan Ayariga threatens to quit the PNC. The aspiring presidential candidate of the People's National Convention, Dr. Hassan Ayariga, says he will quit the party if its National Delegates Congress votes to retain the present crop of party leaders. We wait to see, I guess. Ministry rejects plea to postpone ban on light plastics. The Ministry of Environment, Science and Technology has rejected a plea by the Ghana Plastic Manufacturers Association to reconsider the planned ban on use of light plastics from November 1, 2015. November 1 is tomorrow, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we shouldn't find the robbers.
Well, we're not supposed to.
I bought the margarine.
Margarine tin.
The margarine tin
Nice plastic.
size.
Is there plastic compajo?
But I bought it.
Okay.
80 pesos, so I bought two. The pack, it is still very much on sale. That's what I mean. Yeah. So maybe we can measure. Maybe after December, we'll see if it's still on the market.
We'll see that. I think that by then we'll get to see whether they've been able to mop up, you know, or mop out whatever it is on the market out of it. We have on the front page of the Today newspaper, PPP holds convention tomorrow in Takoradi in the Western region, and please make sure that You stay tuned here. We're going to bring you the best update. Voters Register Saga, National ID will clear flaws. And we know that the PPP, they also delivered a paper yesterday. And as Mamavi already indicated, the forum is continuing today.
Yes.
And I think it was good too. I mean, in terms of the camaraderie between all those who delivered and the content of their deliveries were very good.
Yeah.
It reminded me of the election petition. Everybody was glued to their TV and radio sets. So at least...
do you get the feeling that people are interested in this as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Very, very much so.
The Business and Financial Times, we're giving coverage to that. If you follow that yesterday here on the Joy News channel, we'll continue in the same way we did it yesterday. So stay with us. The BNFT, PPI boost for inflation interest rates. Story says producer prices continued to slide in September, which points to a tame inflation that could help to argue well against interest rate increase next month. Fertilizer insurance for farmers. A mobile microinsurance service provider is working out a model that will see rural farmers across the country benefit from insurance packages when they purchase bags of fertilizer. The final headline here, government targets cybercrime. The story says that the Minister of Communications, Dr. Edward Omani-Boamah, has said the ministry will soon present a national cybersecurity policy and strategy to Parliament after cabinet consideration. Because we've been hacked. I mean, even government websites have been hacked a couple of times, and we're now thinking about this.
We'll see how we're able to surmount our troubles as far as infiltration into our electronic systems are.
Yeah. Okay, we'll take you back to... Oh, no. I mean, we're not going back. We're staying with myjoyonline.com. Roland is taking us through the story.
All right. NDC claims victory at day one of Voters Register Forum. It depends on who you listen to. And apparently, the governing NDC is claiming victory following day one of talks at the Electoral Commission's public forum on the Voters Register. At a session at the Alisa Hotel here in Accra on Thursday, presentations by political parties, civil society groups and the Electoral Commission were interspersed with questions and reactions from the panel of eminent persons leading the discussion and other participants. And the Deputy General Secretary of the party, Kuku Anyidoho, told Joy News that consensus is already building around the NDC's position for an audit of the register instead of compiling a new one. We have to say, apart from the MPP and the CPP, all of them said, well, they didn't think really a new register was important, but if we really had a problem with it and if compiling or compilation was needed, then we need to.
I listened to the presentation of IDEC and I loved it.
Yes.
I mean, it was very much in detail. They talk about the house because, you know, everybody's talking about something, but how do we do it? How do we move forward? Yeah. I think there are good suggestions coming on board. Is the EC just listening? Is this just a forum, or we're going to be incorporating? Because for some of us, we're not thinking about the next elections. We're thinking about the next one after the next. You know, we're thinking after 2016, what happens?
There's a critical thing, though, because all the parties, the civil society groups, and all those think tanks have presented their proposals to the Electoral Commission. They need to really communicate to the public and the stakeholders who have done all those presentations before them, how they intend to deal with the substantive subjects as presented by the MPP and the other parties, not just by the forum, and for us to get to listen and get educated. They need to tell us how they intend dealing with it, because apart from the forum, then we need to have an adequate means by which the Electoral Commission as a supervisory body also needs to deal with it.
I think the presentation by Emmanuel Akwete also suggested that they investigate what the NPP has presented. You know, they're making a case.
Yes.
Take time and investigate
Precisely
that.
why we say that they need to really tell us what they're going to do about those very concerns that the NPP has raised. And indeed, all the political parties acknowledge that there are things wrong with the current register we have. So how do they intend investigating that and dealing with those things? Because then that will put a lot more people's minds at rest.
Sure. Let's move over and go check out this one. NPP suggests in-camera hearing on bloated register. That's another twist to this whole conversation. A bit of the story for you on myjoyonline.com. The New Patriotic Party is pushing for an in-camera session with the Electoral Commission's constituted committee to shed more light on its calls for a new voters register. The party said the two-day stakeholders forum collating views about the voters register was not enough to exhaust concerns about the current register, which the NPP is questioning its credibility. Let's do City FM Online quickly now for you. Still NPP politics. EC invited Afoko to voters register forum, says his spokesperson, I guess, because, you know, yesterday when we all saw Paul Afoko as part of, because he's a suspended party chairman, so what was he doing there? It raised a lot of questions. It became a big talking point. But his spokesperson, Nanaya Osei, has told City News his boss attended the forum on the voters register because he was invited by the Electoral Commission. Interested in the details, you can continue to read. But we'll go to BBC. Roland?
We have Tanzania Paul John Magufuli of CCM defeats Edward Lowassa. You can see them. Magufuli. Chagua Magufuli. Hapa kazi tui.
What does it mean?
That's in Swahili.
What does it mean?
That's in Swahili. Tanzania's growing CCM governing. Okay. Tanzania's governing CCM party candidate John Magufuli has won the presidential election with some 58% of the votes. The Electoral Commission is reporting. His main rival Edward Lowassa has rejected the official polls. That's what they always do when they lose the election in Africa. That gave him 40% of the ballots cast. You know, in the US.
So what's he going to do?
In the US and the UK, when they lose the election, and you know, before the main declaration, they usually don't even have main declarations. You see the news networks will come and then they say,
no, but that's not the entire African situation.
True.
That wouldn't be fair, because in Ivory Coast recently, I mean, it was a beautiful...
We're talking about the general, what usually will happen. And then they'll come, let's say if David Cameron had lost, I want to congratulate, blah, 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 blah. For us, even before we're halfway through counting, there's rigging. I'm wondering what will happen when we're halfway through counting. The opposition party said there's a rigging, and then let's say we're about 2/3 through counting, and then they are leading. What they will come and say, oh, the first rigging accusation is not true. We're now leading. We'll see how that goes. All right, so that'll be it. Next, we have to look at issues emanating from Nigeria.
Yeah, Nigeria issues most wanted Boko Haram militant photos. And you can't see this very clearly, but you might want to hit on the website and check it out. It says Nigeria's army has published 100 photos of people whom it says are its most wanted Boko Haram suspects. The army urged the public to phone special hotlines if any of the suspects were spotted, as it steps up effort to hunt down the Islamist militant. Okay, so, all right, that's it. But just before we make way for sports, we've been asking you, which city do you consider as the best in Ghana and why? Because tomorrow, Saturday, October 31, is World Cities Day, a day set aside by the United Nations to promote interest in global urbanization, push forward cooperation among countries in meeting opportunities and addressing challenges of urbanization. Okay, so let's see what some of you are saying. If you're interested in sharing your views, you're welcome. Just head on facebook.com/Joy News on TV. Natonma Muhammadu says, there is no best city in Ghana at all. Ebeyo, citizen. Omam Paba Kofi Jr. says, second D Takoradi, because everything in that city is just on point. Less traffic, proper drainage, and most importantly, crime rate is very low. It's only in Takoradi that we don't have pickpockets or phone snatchers. You can walk to any of the banks, even in the market circle, and withdraw any amount and still walk freely on the street. Yeah, I've lived in Takoradi. Takoradi is a beautiful place. Okay, so aside Takoradi, I would choose Tamale, where I schooled, and the reason is simple. There's no Dumso here, and almost every bulb in Tamale City is working perfectly, exposing the bad guys. I love your message.
Yeah, it's great. He seems to love wherever he stayed, and that's great. That's the thing that we want you to send us. And we've had some of the comments. Let me just read this, and this one is coming from Diku. Diku Revive, who says that, okay, we're looking beautiful. And,
Thank you.
I wanted to read this one from, I believe, a teacher. Okay, but this one says, Richard, you're giving us this very message from Crawford in the Western region. Good morning, I'm a teacher and I'm embarrassed when I hear of people using fake certificates to teach. And they use fake certificates to gain entry, I believe into the teacher training colleges.
Yes.
Okay.
And to get upgrades.
Yeah. So the question I'm asking myself is, do these people know what they teach? What kind of information are they churning out to the students? You're right there. You're right there. And we have this one from JJ. You say, yesterday palm oil and today to another food substance. What are we going to eat now? Or die be die. There's no death that is always death, please.
Okay, that's not a comment. That's what's not good, remember. But we've got more conversations coming up. Remember, I'm excited. We're talking low sex drive, whether in women or men, later this morning. But let's make way for sports now. We've been talking for a while.
My bread, low sex drive.
Okay. Stay with us. We've got sports coming your way here on the show.
We'll be right back.